Mo back in Matthew's Friends Keto Kitchen on the cooking channel. Today I'm going to be showing you a couple of recipes, and I'm also going to go through how you can batch up, so just to give you an idea of how you can make these things and put some in the freezer for later. And the first thing I'm making is a flatbread. Garlic flatbread, garlic breadsticks, we've got lots of names for it, but it's made mainly with mozzarella cheese. Now we go from the rules here and we use grated mozzarella. It does have some carb in it, but it does help to make quite a nice flatbread. So I've melted in here, you just pop it in the microwave just to get it warm so it starts to melt. And as you can see, you can still see the cheese there, but this does help to work all the other ingredients in. And I'm making enough for 4 portions today, so we just get that out. It's if you know mozzarella, it's very elastic when it's warm, but that's great. And in there I'm going to add a little coconut powder. And I should say that before I started doing this, I weighed this bowl and it weighs 81 grams. Now you'll see why I needed to know that later. Now you just work this in. It does take you a little bit of effort, but it's worth it. And when the coconut's in there, which it fairly well is, you get your egg, just give it a bit of a whisk just to break it up. These little whisks that you get in the starter packs from Matthew's Friends, very useful. And that goes in. Now it looks at this stage as if it's never going to happen, but it does. Now that's starting to go in, and I'm going to add some cream, which makes it look even more scary. Because the mozzarella is very elastic, it takes quite a bit of working. It's quite an unusual way of getting a bread made, and of course I've batched up here, so I've got 4 times as much as the recipe says, so I'm having to work 4 times as hard. But you can see it's starting to go now. In the recipe I do mention that you do need a bit of patience with it, but with the ketogenic diet, these sort of bread recipes are quite hard to achieve, and I've had quite a lot of success with this, so it is worth the effort. Now, can you see? That has all come together. Looks like a regular cake mix really. And I'm going to spread it on there. But first off, I'm going to weigh it. So just scrape down anything off. And if you remember, I said that the bowl was 81. It's now 438. So you take the 81 off. So that would be 48, 57, that'd be 357 the mixture weighs. So if you were going to cook that in individual portions, you would have to divide that by 4 and then make the 4 portions on there. But for today, I'm going to cook it as a whole, and then I'll weigh it when it's cooked and then divide it up again. So that's 2 ways that you can batch up. So I'm just going to spread this on here, and you can see I've got a non-stick liner, which is always a good idea. And it's going to go in a fairly hot oven. It's 190 degrees, 170 if it's a fan oven, and that would be 5 or 6 gas. Now just spread it over. And get it into a nice rectangle. Get it as flat as you can, because obviously it'll make it easier when you're going to weigh it when you're dividing it up. I think that that's pretty well there. I'm sure you'll forgive me if it's not quite perfect today. So that's what it will look like, or in 4 individual ones if you prefer to do it like that, or of course you can form this into a pizza base. It's a very good use for this recipe. Now it's going to go in the oven until it's cooked, obviously. A single portion would take about 10 minutes. It cooks quite quickly. This one is going to take longer. So I'm going to put it in the oven, and then I'll show you something that could be used as an accompaniment to this. You've seen the garlic butter flatbread, and now I'm going to just show you something that can go with that, but it can go with lots of other things as well, and it's smoked salmon pate. Very easy, no cooking involved. So you just take some smoked salmon, and for this you can get away with buying the smoked salmon trimmings. You don't have to buy the best slices unless you really want to. But it's a nice way of using up trimmings. Just get it on your board. Slice it. I mean, smoked salmon is so soft and lovely. It's very easy, as you can see. I'm just slicing that through. Because when you're making a pate, you want to be able to see what sort of pate it is. So don't make it so small that it's going to disappear, because there is quite a lot of fat to go with this. This is a very high fat, high protein recipe. So you will of course be able to adapt this to your ratio on the advice of your dietitian. But I'm just showing you a basic recipe here, which is a 2-to-1. So in a bowl, and now this is Philadelphia. It's plain full fat Philadelphia. You can add some herbs to it if you want that sort of flavour, but I'm just using plain today. And just put that in. And this is good old butter. So when you're actually going to serve this, you've got everything in there. You won't need to add any more butter. And then you just work it all together. Now it's not a pate as you would buy in the shop, of course, but this is a really good method of getting lots of fat into the diet. And of course the smoked salmon takes over the flavour of the butter, and if you keep it in the fridge until you need it, it stays nice and firm. And you can do this for a party, and you can spread it on the flatbread or just serve it with the flatbread, or you can put it on celery, or carrot batons, cucumber, goes lovely with cucumber, or if you've got the keto flax bread, it goes nicely on that as well.